Over the next 5 years, the Indian subcontinent is bracing itself for a major and potentially devastating geopolitical collision. Look at the Chenab River flowing through the valleys. Following recent escalations, India has actively begun restricting the flow of this specific water system. This high-altitude terrain relies entirely on glacial meltwaters. By suspending the Indus Water Treaty, New Delhi triggered an escalating, severe water shortage downstream in Pakistan. With resources drying up, desperation grows. That turns massive infrastructure like this Indian hydroelectric dam into a primary military target for a thirsty nation. But reaching these heavily fortified rivers on the ground is nearly impossible. To secure the water, any future strike must come from the sky. To threaten those dams, Pakistan is looking to Beijing. China is preparing to export the J-35, a fully capable fifth-generation stealth fighter. This diagram explains the threat. A standard radar station sends out waves that bounce off a traditional aircraft's hull. But look at the angular geometry of the stealth jet. The radar waves deflect entirely away, returning no signal to the station. Because it doesn't reflect the waves, the jet slips straight past the active detection radius, closing in on stationary targets like dams completely unseen. The Indian Air Force currently possesses no fifth-generation fighter jet. In a mid-air engagement against a J-35, India has no equivalent aircraft to match it. Without a stealth interceptor in the sky, India's critical river infrastructure remains highly vulnerable to a sudden, asymmetric aerial strike. To close that capability gap, India is turning to the ground. This is the Russian S-400 missile defense system. Moscow's Federal Service for Military Technical Cooperation recently confirmed India's official request to purchase additional batteries of these exact vehicles. Russian air defense has faced heavy criticism globally. In theaters like Iran and Venezuela, older systems routinely failed to detect or intercept incoming Western assets. But on the Indian subcontinent, the results differ. During Operation Sindoor, Indian forces used the S-400 to successfully track and neutralize multiple Pakistani air assets right from Indian soil. This Kremlin complex knows exactly what that means. Because the system actually worked in this specific border conflict, India feels justified in pouring billions more into Russian hardware. This specific purchase serves a single, combat-validated purpose, tailored specifically for the Indo-Pak theater. Right now, India has 3 active S-400 units. 2 sit directly on the Pakistan border. The third is stationed near this monument at the Siliguri corridor, guarding the narrow strip of land leading toward Kalimpong and Sikkim. This map demonstrates the ultimate goal. By placing 5 or more units along the border to create the Sudarshan Chakra, the individual S-400 radar radii expand and interlock, forming a continuous, solid wall of radar and surface-to-air missiles. An approaching stealth jet like the J-35 might evade a single radar, but an overlapping network catches it from multiple angles, detecting the threat long before it reaches the dams. Building this shield carries massive diplomatic risk. Buying from Russia triggers strict U.S. CAATSA sanctions, the exact same financial penalties that severely damaged the Turkish and Chinese defense programs. When India bought its first S-400s, it relied heavily on a special executive waiver granted during Donald Trump's first term to bypass those sanctions entirely. By officially ordering more batteries today, New Delhi is actively daring Washington to respond, proving India will secure its borders first, even if it means defying the United States. Look at this soldier guarding the infrastructure. With a fully fortified border, India can confidently maintain its grip on Pakistan's water supply without fear of a conventional military reprisal. The only variable left is the timeline. As Vladimir Putin signals a desire to wrap up the conflict in Europe, the end of the Russia-Ukraine war will free up massive amounts of Russian manufacturing capacity. That means the delivery of India's newly ordered S-400s will rapidly accelerate. It sets up a stark collision, a downstream nation running completely dry, forced to stare down an impenetrable sky. These new missile batteries represent the final layer of armor in a 5-year strategy, guaranteeing India absolute dominance over the rivers below and the airspace above.